Welcome to Straightforward Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown WWE main event 205 Live results for the week of April 17th, 2020. Birthdays from the 16th, George Animal Steel, 1937. Vicky Guerrero, 1968. Paul London, 1980. Mia Yim, also played Jade in another company, 1989. April 17th birthdays, Nails, 1958. The Hot Rod, Roddy Piper, 1954. Bandito, 1995. Brooklyn Brawler, 1961, on the 18th. Hall of Famer Hall Finkel passed away. From the news and the WWE Center to learn about the Fink passing away at the age of 69. When considering the greatest ring announcers in the history of sports and sports entertainment, you'd be hard-pressed to make one better than Howard. Finkel, a native of Newark, New Jersey, the Fink, a label that had been affectionately to Howard over the years, and made his ring announcing debut at Madison Square Garden in 1977 for WWE's predecessor, WWF. In 1979, Finkel was the full-time ring announcer for WWF. And when WWE was established in 1980, the Fink became the first and visually longest-serving employee. Finkel's distinctive voice was instantly recognizable. And for more than 2 decades, superstars such as The Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and more would have a title victory marked by the Fink's signature call and new world champion. And despite being a ring announcer, Finkel didn't shy away from in-ring competition. In certain circumstances, in 1995, he battled his longtime rival, Harvey Wippleman, in a tuxedo match on Raw, and later helped X-Pac shave Jeff Jarrett's head in a hair versus hair match at SummerSlam 1998. In addition to his legendary tenure as ring announcer, the Fink was indispensable resource inside the WWE offices for the vast knowledge of sports entertainment history, well respected by current superstars, WWE legends, and Hall of Famers. Finkel's encyclopedia memory and kindness made him beloved among his colleagues. The Fink was inducted into WWE Hall of Fame on April the 4th, 2009. WWE extends its condolences to Finkel's family, friends, and fans. Mexico and I give my condolences to his family and friends as well. Mexico reportedly has its first pro wrestling death from coronavirus. Lucha indie star Black Demon passed away on Monday, April 13th, from COVID-19. According to SuperLuchas, it was noted that the authorities have not confirmed the cause of the death, but that is what Black Demon's family and close friends are reporting. Black Demon reportedly lived in the state of Sonora, which had 12 COVID-19 deaths, around 100 cases until this week, according to the report. Former WWE World Heavyweight Champion Christian recently commented on a potential in-ring return for the company while appearing on the Hall of Fame podcast with WWE Hall of Famer Booker T. Christian was asked of the recent WWE 24 special, an in-ring return of his good friend, Hall of Famer Edge. Gave him hopes of a WWE comeback. Christian said that there are 2 different injuries, but he's already accomplished what he wanted to in WWE. Besides headlining WrestleMania, and he doesn't see how he would ever get medically cleared to compete. I mean, it's one of those things, right? It's a completely different injury. Christian said, I'm pretty content with all that I've accomplished in WWE. I pretty much accomplished everything I've ever wanted to do, except main event WrestleMania. And let's be honest, how many people actually get a chance to do that? It's one of those. I'm 46 years old, and I had some concussion issues. It's just a matter of, I don't see it happening. I'm medically disqualified. I'm not sure how I would ever get cleared. Christian, a WWE Grand Slam champion, who first signed with the company in 1998, and also held the WWE World Heavyweight title in TNA, was forced to retire after suffering a concussion during a fatal four-way with Alberto Del Rio, Sheamus, and Dolph Ziggler on March 24, 2014. Raw episode. Christian earned a title shot from then Intercontinental Champion Big E by winning that fatal four-way, but he never competed for the title due to the concussion. The fatal four-way was his final pro wrestling match. While he retired due to concussion issues, Edge recently returned after suffering a neck injury 9 years ago. Christian currently serves as an analyst on FS1's WWE Backstage program. The veteran WWE superstar, The Undertaker, has accepted the Fantastics All-In Challenge on social media. TakersFantastics.com All-In Challenge page notes that he is offering a dinner and one-of-a-kind gift from the dead man. The starting bid was $2,500, but they are up to $3,800 with 3 bids. Probably more by the time this video gets uploaded. But gets even seen. The auction ends on Friday, April 24th. Taker noted in this video here that he is nominated rapper Post Malone and West Coast choppers Jesse James to participate in the challenge. Taker was nominated by entrepreneur and social media personality Gary Vee. And he comments on by saying, 100% of the money raised through the game auction will go directly to Feeding America, Meals on Wheels, World Central Kitchen, and No Kid Hungry. The All-In Challenge was created to provide food to those in need, children, elderly, and frontline heroes. The winner of Taker's game auction will fly to Austin, Texas with a friend to meet and have a private dinner with The Undertaker. The page notes that you can reminisce on your favorite matches or moments from Taker's career, and then Taker will gift you one of his custom-made ring jackets worn during his career. The prize delivery time will be mutually agreed upon and determined at a later date when it's safe to do so, of course, during this coronavirus pandemic. Hey, it's The Undertaker, and I expect your challenge, Gary Vee, Taker said. I'm all in on this all-in challenge. You know, when I was just starting out in the wrestling business, there were times when I didn't know where my next meal was coming from. And there was a lot of times where I didn't have enough money for that meal. So, on a small scale, I can understand where a lot of these people are going through and are going through and gonna go through. So it's up to us to reach back and pull some people forward. I couldn't be more proud to be a part of this challenge. So what I'm going to do, bring to the table, is dinner with The Undertaker. We can talk all these things wrestling, and along with that dinner, I'm going to bring one of my iconic ring jackets that I've worn at one of the pay-per-views I performed in. This is going to be the real deal. The actual jacket or robe that I've worn at one of our WWE pay-per-views. These things really mean a lot to me. They've all been custom made. As far as nominating, I'd like to nominate my boy Posty, Post Malone, and builder extraordinaire, master craftsman, Jesse James of West Coast Choppers. All right, there it is. Let's get this thing rolling. We're done. WWE will continue to air live TV and taping TV from the closed set of the Performance Center in Orlando during the coronavirus pandemic. They're making significant changes as a way to keep staff and talent safe. WWE officials have decided on an updated taping schedule moving forward. According to a new report from Pro Wrestling Sheet, the schedule will impact plans for WWE NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. WWE also has been taping Main Event and 205 Live episodes from the Performance Center. The schedule will see WWE air live TV for the next few weeks, but they will be going into taping more often. WWE is reportedly making these changes in effort to talents traveling in as little as possible. It was noted that the health and safety measures being done at the Performance Center has continued to evolve as the world learns more about COVID-19. The safety measures include everyone wearing face masks when not performing, medical screenings before being allowed to enter any closed set, only allowing essential personnel on those sets, good hygiene and hand washing for an appropriate amount of time, filming matches and waves, following social distancing guidelines outside of performances, what was described as pandemic level cleaning and more. As they change the ropes and ring in the ring match every match. While WWE has faced significant outside criticism for how they decided to continue working, the report noted that WWE is putting a lot of effort into mitigating risk and doing the best they can to protect everyone's health and safety while still keeping business going. A WWE spokesperson issued the following statement when asked about the schedule change, which is detailed following. The statement follows. We believe it is now more important than ever to provide people with a diversion from these hard times. We are producing content on a closed set with only essential personnel in attendance, following appropriate guidelines while taking additional precautions to ensure the health and wellness of our performers and staff. As a brand that has been woven into the fabric of society, WWE and its superstars bringing families together and deliver a sense of hope, determination, and perseverance. The current schedule for TV filming looks like this. SmackDown will air live on Fox as scheduled. Monday's Raw will be live on the USA Network as well. Wednesday's NXT. Next Friday's SmackDown will also air live as scheduled. Saturday, April 25th, WWE tapes 2 episodes of SmackDown to air May 1st and May 8th. Monday, April 27th, WWE tapes 2 episodes of Raw, one for that night, May 4th, and the following week. April 29th, WWE tapes 2 episodes of NXT, one for that night and one for May 6th, the following week. Monday, May the 11th, WWE tapes 1 Raw episode for that night, 1 SmackDown episode for Friday, May 15th. Tuesday, May 12th, WWE tapes 1 Raw episode for May 18th and 1 for the 22nd. Wednesday, May 13th, WWE tapes 2 episodes NXT for that night and 1 for the following week, May 20th. Monday, May 25th, WWE tapes 2 episodes of Raw, 1 for that night, 1 for June 1st. Tuesday, May 26th, WWE tapes 2 episodes of SmackDown, 1 for May 29th and 1 for June 5th. Wednesday, May 27th, WWE tapes 2 episodes of NXT, 1 for that night and 1 for June 3rd. Monday, June the 8th, taping. WWE tapes 1 Raw for that night, 1 SmackDown for Friday, June 12th. Tuesday taping, June 9th, we'll tape NXT for June 10th. Only 1 taping. Monday, June 15th, WWE tapes 1 Raw episode and 1 SmackDown episode for the 19th. Tuesday, June 16th, we'll tape 1 Raw episode for the 22nd and 1 SmackDown for the 26th. Wednesday's June 17th, WWE tapes 2 NXT episodes, 1 for that night, 1 for June 24th. Monday, June 29th, WWE tapes 2 episodes of Raw, 1 for that night, 1 for July 6th. Tuesdays, June the 30th, WWE tapes 2 episodes of SmackDown, 1 for Friday, July 3rd, 1 for July 10th. Wednesday, July the 1st, tapes 2 episodes of NXT, 1 for that night, 1 for July 8th. It sounds like WWE could be trying to keep Roman Reigns from minds of fans as they watch their shows, as he hasn't been on their shows lately. Current instruction for WWE TV is that no one is over to ever mention Reigns, according to a new report from Wrestling Observer newsletter. No reason why was given for the edict, because of the fact that he removed himself from WrestleMania match against Goldberg. Universal Champion Braun Strowman appeared in the ring to discuss his big WrestleMania 36 title win during last week's post-WrestleMania edition of SmackDown on Fox, while he did mention his WrestleMania opponent, Goldberg, he did not mention the man who made his title shot possible, Reigns. WWE still hyping Reigns up for his planned WrestleMania 36 match with Goldberg as of March 27th episode. Word came down that Reigns had pulled out of the WrestleMania 36 tapings at the closed set to Performance Center due to concerns he had with working during the coronavirus pandemic. Reigns made the decision as his 2 battles with leukemia left him uncompromised. WWE taped the match with Strowman as Reigns' replacement and put the title on him before WrestleMania Go Home episode on April 3rd. That SmackDown episode saw an announcement on Strowman versus Goldberg with no build and no mention of Reigns. Reigns has not been mentioned on WWE TV since that March 27th episode. No word yet on when Reigns will return to WWE action. It was reported after WrestleMania that his future is up in the air in states, and his status was unknown as well. It was also reported by Observer that it's up to Reigns on when he will return, and no one that was talking knew when that will be. It's possible that Reigns is away for several months, depending on what happened with the COVID-19 outbreak. Also noted, Reigns just revealed to Muscle and Fitness that he and his wife are expecting another set of twins. Another set of twins, a second set of twins. Didn't know he had twins before. Reigns also made headlines this week when he posted an interesting response to an Instagram post by Strowman, which led to an exchange between the two. Add WWE superstar Nick Agarelli, Nick Camarado, to the list of wrestlers, producers, announcers, and other employees released by WWE on Wednesday. Nick, who was signed in February 2019, worked live events, but not TV, took to Twitter today and revealed Wednesday's cut. He wrote, "It took a few days to post this, but despite what happened, I can still say I'm very thankful. The past year with the WWE has been a great time. I'd like to thank the coaches at the Performance Center for all the experience, knowledge, and outlook I've gained and will continue to use throughout my career. I'd like not to say this as a goodbye, as much of a see you later. Stay strong and stay safe, world." Add WWE superstar Taylor Conti to the list of wrestlers, producers, announcers, and other employees released by WWE on Wednesday. According to PW Insider, no word yet on if Conti was released by others on Wednesday, or if she was released today. As noted, it was said that more NXT cuts are expected. Add NXT superstar Tino Sabatelli, Cesar Bonini, and Mars Wang to the list of wrestlers, producers, announcers, and other employees released by WWE this week, according to PW Insider. I have not heard of Mars Wang myself. Cesar Bonini, somewhat. Sabatelli, somewhat either. Once in a while. Confirmed cuts on Wednesday made by the company, along with Nick's tweet. Nick Camarato, Alyssa Marino, Dan Mata, also known as Dorian Mack, MJ Jenkins, Deanna Ferrado, Alexander Jaksic, Rusev, No Way Jose, Mike Kanellis, Maria Kanellis, Primo Epico, Rowan, Sarah Logan, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, EC3, Drake Maverick, Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder, Heath Slater, Eric Young, Leo Rush. Producers, furloughed and released, WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle, Billy Kidman, Mike Rotunda, formerly also known as IRS, Pat Buck, Fit Finney, John DeVere, Scott Armstrong, Sarah Stott, Shane Helms, The Hurricane, and Lance Storm. Coaches that were released, Serena Deeb, Kendo Cashin, and Chris Guy, also known as Ace Steel. Announcers, Aiden English, Jerry Soto, furloughed. Referees, Mike Chioda. He was a senior referee. Creative, Andrea Lissenberger. Other on-air talent has been released, Josiah Williams, John Quasso. WNXT talents released on Wednesday will be free to appear for other promotions next month. NXT talents cut this week will only be under 30-day no non-compete clause with WWE. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, they will be free to sign with anyone else on May 15th. Also noted, the other main roster talents released on Wednesday and other under 90-day no-compete and will be eligible to appear for major promotions beginning July 15th on Wednesday. The Observer also reported that while there are more NXT cuts expected, there are no further main roster releases expected. It was noted that many people who aren't featured regularly on NXT TV are worried about their jobs. So the list of 22 wrestlers, 10 producers, 3 coaches, 2 announcers, 1 referee, 1 creative, and a partner to the Pear Tree, and 2 other on-air talents. Cuts on Wednesday were made part of the coronavirus-related business changes that WWE announced earlier in the day. AJ Styles admitted that he was hurt hearing the news that WWE released his friends Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson during their coronavirus-related release of talent on Wednesday. I reported that on my video from AEW and NXT. As they announced a host of business-related changes due to the global coronavirus pandemic during the business call with company talent. Among the changes announced during the call, that was also that WWE will furlough some employees they hope to bring back when the crisis is over. Along with some roster cuts, the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, didn't survive the cuts. The cuts of Gallows and Anderson were surprising, as the pair were involved in the Boneyard match between Styles and Undertaker in the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania 36. The pair aligned with Styles in 2019 to form the OC. Despite being overlooked in an underutilized tag team division, Gallows and Anderson still have 2 tag championship reigns to their name. Styles spoke about the cuts during the stream on Mixer. The former WWE champion revealed he felt responsible for his friends' releases that were hurt really bad. Styles said, highlight thanks to Alex McCarty for the quote, "The only way I can explain it is that these guys are my family and I couldn't take care of my little brothers. I didn't manage to do that and I feel responsible for them being released. It's devastating. All the talent released on Wednesday will have a 90-day no-compete clause, but Carl Anderson has already started teasing a return to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Former WWE superstar, host, and announcer Matt Stryker is appearing on the new Labor of Love reality TV series from Fox. The show features a woman trying to find the best potential father to have a child with. Stryker is one of the contestants on the show. It will premiere Thursday, May 21st on Fox. You can see Stryker in the trailer at this link. WWE has confirmed the Money in the Bank pay-per-view will feature the men's and women's ladder matches from the headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. The announcers on SmackDown tonight noted the matches will begin on the bottom floor of the building known as Titan Tower. Matches will continue through 3 floors of the Money in the Bank. Briefcases will be up on the roof. Participants must make it to the roof to get to the briefcases. Also noted, WWE filmed material for the Money in the Bank at headquarters in Stamford earlier this week, including content up on the roof. Sounds like a song. Up on the roof. It looks like this is what was filmed. I think I have a picture. If I have it, I'll post it. I'll put it on my notes. Here's the latest video of Team Ninja from the WWE Performance Center YouTube channel. The video features NXT superstars Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter, who previously pushed for their own series together. As they teamed together for the first time in more than 4 months, Carter and Catanzaro teamed up for a dark match win over Santana Garrett and Alia before March 11th NXT TV tapings at the Performance Center. This week's main event episode features Liv Morgan defeating NXT Santana Garrett and Humberto Carrillo defeating Shelton Benjamin, which was the main event of the show. WWE has been taping main event episodes at the closed set Performance Center. The episodes can be seen on Hulu. The main event opening video of the show, after the usual signature I already gave you the quick results. Liv Morgan makes her entrance. Byron Saxton, Tom Phillips, Central commentary. Santana Garrett makes her entrance. Liv Morgan and Santana versus Santana Garrett. They lock up. Garrett backs Morgan to the corner. Morgan hits a modified arm drag on Garrett. Morgan ducks a clothesline attempt by Garrett. Morgan takes Garrett to the mat with a headlock. Take over. Morgan eventually strikes Garrett several times. Garrett sends Morgan to the ropes. Morgan goes for a sunset flip. Garrett rolls backwards to get out of it. Morgan connects with an insecurity to Garrett. Morgan hits a flatliner on Garrett. Morgan pins Garrett for the win. A recap of SmackDown was shown, featuring Universal Champion Braun Strowman defeating Shinsuke Nakamura. Recap of SmackDown featuring verbal confrontation between Bray Wyatt and Universal Champion Braun Strowman. Recap of Raw was shown, featuring Nia Jax, Kairi Sane to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Humberto Carrillo and Shelton Benjamin make their entrance. Shelton versus Humberto was up next. They lock up. Benjamin locks in a headlock on Carrillo. Carrillo sends Benjamin to the ropes. Benjamin hits a shoulder block on Carrillo. Later in the match, Carrillo elbows Benjamin in the face. Carrillo connects with a springboard kick to Benjamin from off the second rope. Carrillo pins Benjamin for a 2 count. Carrillo ascends the turnbuckles. Benjamin goes after Carrillo. Benjamin and Carrillo exchange strikes on the top turnbuckle. Carrillo spikes the head of Benjamin on the top turnbuckle. Carrillo hits a moonsault from off the top top rope on Benjamin. Carrillo pins Benjamin for the 3 count. A recap of Raw was shown to close the show, featuring Drew McIntyre defeating U.S. Champion Andrade prior to being assaulted by Seth Rollins. SmackDown opens up with a graphic memory of Hall of Famer Howard Finkel, who passed away at the age of 69 on Thursday. We'll go to your usual SmackDown intro video, live from the Performance Center in Orlando, supposedly. Michael Colesaw welcomes us. We see chairs and a small table set up in the ring. Colesaw is joined by Corey Graves, the Hype Tonight sign-up. We go to the ring for the Women's Tag Team Champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. And Greg Hamilton does the ring introduction. They take their seats and welcome us to a new episode of A Moment of Bliss. In the ring, Bliss introduces their guest. Out comes the Universal Champion, Braun Strowman. Colesaw confirms Bray Wyatt versus Strowman for the title at Money in the Bank. But not the Fiend, it appears. Bliss welcomes Braun and congratulates him on defeating the Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg for the title. Strowman congratulates him on their title win over the Kabuki Warriors. Cross mentions that they will defend their titles next week, apparently against Carmella and Dana Brooke. Bliss brings up Wyatt and shows us the warning to Strowman from last week. Strowman says he did used to be part of that family, but he's trying to forget that part of his life. He owes Wyatt nothing because he earned everything he has. He goes on about Wyatt and says he's a manipulator. Strowman isn't playing those games, and Wyatt can challenge him if he wants. Strowman warns that if Wyatt comes for him and not the title, all he's getting is these hands. Bliss goes on, but Strowman interrupts when he sees a wrapped gift under the turnbuckles. Strowman picks it up, but Bliss says she didn't get it for him. Strowman sits down and unwraps the box. He holds his black sheep mask for the Wyatt family is in there. Braun pulls it out, nervously shaking his head. Bliss and Cross back off. We hear Wyatt's laugh echo around the empty WWE Performance Center as Strowman stands up, ready to fight, but Wyatt is nowhere to be seen. The screen flashes and stops on an image of Strowman wearing the mask back when he was with the Wyatt family. The screen flashes again, and we go to commercial. Back with Ray calls out hypes. Wyatt versus Strowman at Money in the Bank. Sasha Banks versus Tamina Snuka was up next. Back with Ray, Tamina was out. Comes out. Sasha Banks and Bayley are also out next. Bayley joins commentary for the announcers. If Snuka wins the match, she earns a title shot from Bayley. The bell rings and Banks pulls a Audi shirt for Snuka in an attempt to fix their old friendship. Snuka gets mad because it's a size small and she wears XL. This leads Bayley distracting Snuka from the floor, allowing Banks to try to roll her up for the win off the distraction. Tamina fights back and goes to work on Banks. Tamina overpowers Banks and drops her again. Another pin attempt early on, and Tamina drops Banks in the corner again. Banks ends up on the apron. Tamina rocks her and knocks her to the floor. Tamina screams out while Banks sells the outside sails on the outside back to the commercial. Back for the break. Snuka continues to dominate. Banks drops her out of the corner, hits the knees for the 2 count. Banks mounts Tamina and unloads with strike style. Banks kicks Snuka and talks some trash. Banks with a basement drop kick and another pin attempt. Tamina looks to make a comeback, but Banks shuts her down and grabs her on the mat. Tamina powers up to her feet, but Banks goes into the sleeper. Tamina eventually rams her back into the corner to break it. Tamina charges, but misses in the corner. Banks gets sent to the apron again, but she fights back in with a knee. Banks goes on, but Tamina drives her down with a version of the big Uranagi. Banks rolls to the floor for a breather as the referee counts. Tamina follows Banks, but Bayley yells at her. Tamina is distracted. Banks takes advantage and drives Tamina into the ring post. Banks with a kick to the face with a version of 619 on the apron. Banks sends Tamina into steel steps. Banks comes back in and distracts the referee. Bayley comes over, but the referee warns her. Music hit, out comes Lacey Evans. She levels Bayley in front of the announce table. The referee counts Tamina, but Banks runs out at her. Banks misses, and Tamina super kicks her on the floor. Tamina brings Banks back in and drops her with another super kick. Tamina covers for the pin to win the future title shot. After the match, Tamina stands tall as the music plays. We go to replays. Evans joins Tamina in the ring, and they sound tall together. As Banks looks on from the corner, Bayley checks on her. Cole and Graves hype tonight's Money in Bank qualifiers. Dana Brooke versus Naomi, and Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan. Graves keeps calling them the most unique Money in Bank ladder matches ever. A possible hint to being on the roof of the WWE headquarters. Jey Uso is backstage hyping tonight's triple threat for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Charlie Caruso stops Lacey Evans backstage and asks about Sasha Banks being a thorn in her side. Evans says Banks got a little taste of her own medicine tonight after what Banks did to her and her family. And then at WrestleMania, Evans goes where Banks goes, and like in the Marines, she's not going to stop until the mission is complete. Evans walks off. Sheamus versus Denzel DeJournay. Course squash match. We go back to the ring. Out comes Sheamus. NXT's Denzel DeJournay waits in the ring, staring Sheamus down. Bell rings. Sheamus dominates early on. Denzel comes back and surprises him. Sheamus unloads with elbows and beats Denzel down aggressively, destroying him with elbows. Sheamus talks trash and unloads with knees to the face. The referee yells at Sheamus, and Denzel is taking a beating. Sheamus back to the corner and yells out. He follows up with a bro kick for the easy win. After the match, Sheamus posts in the corner and yells out as the music hits. We go to replays. Sheamus interrupts Colesaw as he talks about Jeff Hardy. Sheamus points out how Cole talked about Hardy when he was out here last week, and he isn't happy with Cole doing the same show of disrespect for the second straight week. Sheamus asks, what about the Celtic Warrior? Then gets in Cole's face and says he will not be disrespected, fella. Sheamus backs off and heads up the ramp. We go to part 2, the in-depth look at Jeff Hardy, which began airing last week. Chapter 2, The Fall, is the name of this part. The video shows Hardy talking about his addiction and spending time in jail. Chapter 3, The Redemption, will air next week. Dana Brooke backstage with warming up. Carmelo appears and isn't happy about Dana training for tonight's Money in Bank qualifier, which he should be training for next week's title shot against Alexa Bliss and Nick Cross. Dana says she can do both. She's got this. Carmelo says whatever, and isn't too sure of Dana's abilities as Dana walks off. Money in Bank qualifier, Naomi versus Dana. We go to the ring for the first Blue Brand qualifying match for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Naomi makes her way to the ring. Back to commercial. Back to the break. We get a promo for the 25th anniversary celebration of Hall of Fame return for Triple H, which begins next Friday's SmackDown. We're back to the ring. Graves says everyone is excited to celebrate the game. Naomi wraps up her entrance. Graves and Cole confirm that the men's and women's ladder match will take place at headquarters with the corporate ladder theme. We have details and a new poster on the main page. The participants will begin on the first floor of the headquarters in Stamford and will fight through 3 floors to the roof, where the briefcases will be. Danny Brooke was out next as we see the Money in the Bank briefcases hanging high above the ring, and the ladders around the arena. Bell rings and they go at it. Brooke with a close pin attempt early on. Brooke with more offense, eventually sending Naomi out to the floor. Landing hard, Brooke talks trash, and finally goes out to bring Naomi back in. Brooke covers for a 2 count. Brooke keeps Naomi grounded in the middle of the ring with body scissors, controlling Naomi. Naomi fights out with a pin attempt. They get up, and Naomi keeps fighting, unloading with strikes, and then a big knee to the face. Naomi with a kick to the face, and a springboard kick to the face again for a 2 count. Naomi is a bit frustrated with Brooke being hanging in there. Naomi with more big kicks to rock Brooke. Brooke catches Naomi with a sit-down powerbomb or close 2 count. Brooke is frustrated now. Brooke ends up blocking the rear view, but Naomi comes back and hits it again. Brooke kicks out, and Naomi can't believe it. Naomi misses a straight-legged moonsault in the corner, and Brooke moves. Brooke rolls Naomi up for the pin and the win to advance to the Money in the Bank. After the win, Brooke celebrates a big way as we get replays. She continues the celebration to her music, stopping at the announcers to celebrate. A video package on what happened between Otis, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Dolph Ziggler, and the Blake. Rose and Deville trying to clear the air tonight. Back from the break, Sonya Deville comes to the ring. Deville takes the mic and says she's been trying to get in touch with Mandy Rose for 2 weeks now. Rose isn't taking her calls or responding to texts. And all she knew to do was come out here on SmackDown. Deville asked Rose to come to the ring so they can make things right. Deville asked please, but Rose isn't coming out. Deville says she's never had someone like Rose in her life. From day one, tough enough, and everything else. She's always been there with her. Together as Fire and Desire, she even went to the wedding of Deville's sister. Deville asked Rose to come out so she could tell her what she's always wanted to. The music interrupts, and out comes Rose. Rose says she has nothing to say to Deville after she did what she did to Otis. Her and Otis. Deville says she spent more time with Rose than she has her own family for the past 5 years. Deville says Rose not giving her a chance to explain made her feel less than nothing to Rose. Deville struggles to get it out, but finally says Rose is the most. Her tune changes, and she calls Rose the most selfish human being as she's ever known. Rose is confused. She asks what this has to do with she and Otis. Deville goes on about Rose not getting it. Deville says Fire and Desire was never about them. It was about Rose. They came out to Rose's entrance, waved her magazine around, and everything else. Deville says she's about to gag. Something Rose has probably done a lot since she's been with Otis. Deville goes on about Rose and says the sad part is that Ziggler actually cares about her. Look at Dolph and look at Otis. Deville says she helped Ziggler with the relationship, but that was an exchange for Ziggler helping them, and they had their eyes on winning the WWE Women's Tag Titles at WrestleMania. But it never happened. Deville says Rose ruined it. Rose asks how she ruined everything. Deville says she's glad it's all on the table now because she wants nothing but to see Rose hurt. She calls Rose a bottom of the barrel bottle blonde who looks like she was created in a lab. Deville hates that she wasted years being second best to eye candy with no talent. Rose just listens and stares at Deville. Deville tells Barbie to listen carefully. She knows Rose better than anyone else in the world, and she will use every ounce of her being to ruin Mandy's life, and then everyone will realize that the true champ and fighter of the Fire and Desire, not some centerfold B-word. Deville drops the mic. Rose is glad she slapped Deville at WrestleMania 36. Ziggler's music hits, and out he comes to tell them to calm down. Ziggler says they went about this the wrong way and did the wrong thing, but Mandy can't fake what happened between he and her. He will do whatever it takes to make it up. Ziggler tells Rose to look him in the eye, and say she doesn't feel anything for him. They stare at each other. Ziggler goes to touch her, but she pushes him off, saying, "Don't touch her." Deville drops Rose out of nowhere with a cheap shot. Ziggler asks Why she did that? The music hits, and out comes Otis. Otis goes right for Ziggler and rocks him, sending him out to the floor, retreating. Deville jumps on Otis's back and goes for his eyes. Rose pulls her off. Deville retreats and crawls away, joining Ziggler on the ramp. Otis checks on Rose as the two sides look on. Ziggler tries to attack out of nowhere, but it backfires and Otis drops him. Otis hits the caterpillar and a big elbow drop. Otis sends Ziggler to the floor and Deville checks on him. Helping him up, Otis' music hits and he stands up with Rose again. Ziggler yells from the ramp and says, "This isn't over." And now to pay tribute to the Hall of Famer Howard Finkel again, who passed away yesterday at the age of 69. They sent us to a video package of the Fink's career. We got a commercial. Back with Rake, The Miz is ranting about having to defend the SmackDown Tag Team titles in another triple threat tonight. Cole, Saw, and Graves lead us to a video package of the Forgotten Sons, who debuted last week. The group consists of Wesley Blake, Steve Cutler, and Jackson Riker. They are the Savages, and we will never forget them, they say. Money in Bank qualifying match, Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan. We go to ring for tonight's next Money in the Bank qualifying match as Cesaro comes out with Shinsuke Nakamura. We see the Money in the Bank briefcase hanging above the ring, and there are ladders all over the Performance Center arena. Out next comes Daniel Bryan with Drew Gulak. The bell rings and they go at it. Cesaro drops Bryan with a shoulder first. Cesaro goes on, but Bryan launches him over the top rope to the floor. Bryan runs the ropes and nails the suicide dive, takes Cesaro over the announce table. The screen starts flashing as we see the mystery hooded man in the showroom setting once again. He says, "We have heard all the lies, but when we hear the truth, we see the truth." Flash over the screen, we see the flashes of several tag teams, the Usos, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, John Morrison and The Miz, Bayley and Sasha Banks. New Day, the truth, flashes again. The man says to keep your friends close, but others closer. He presses the button, the truth will be heard. Flashes on the screen again with the usual graphics. We got a commercial. Back for a break, and Gulak cheers Bryan on as he grounds Cesaro and focuses on his arm. Cesaro ends up overpowering and launches Bryan across the ring. The referee checks on Bryan as Cesaro keeps his show. Cesaro with a big kick to the back keep Bryan down. Cesaro with another big scoop slam for a 2 count. Bryan fights in from the apron and goes up top, but Cesaro catches the crossbody. Cesaro powers Bryan up with one arm and drives the knee to the spine. Cesaro with a 2 count, then applies a sharpshooter now. Bryan drags himself over and gets to the bottom rope, but Cesaro takes advantage of the count. Bryan goes to the floor for a breather. Cesaro follows and charges, dropping Bryan against the barrier with a big running uppercut. Back to commercial. Back for the break, and Cesaro is blocking him backside. He counters, but Bryan lands on his feet. Bryan takes Cesaro down into an armbar in the middle of the ring. Cesaro powers Bryan up, but Bryan takes the leg out. Bryan kicks Cesaro's bad arm. Bryan unloads with kicks him, but Cesaro kicks out too. Cesaro turns around with more big offense. Bryan kicks out too, but Cesaro goes right into a crossface. Bryan turns that around and looks to go for the yes lock. Cesaro resists and covers for a 2 count. They trade pin attempts until Cesaro levels Bryan with a big clothesline. More back and forth. Bryan ends up countering an armbar and applying in the yes lock. Nakamura tries to interfere, but Gulak pulls him back and sends him into the barrier. Bryan keeps the yes lock applied, and Cesaro taps out. After the match, Gulak hits the ring to celebrate with Bryan. As his music hits, go to replays. Bryan and Cole Saw hype the special Money in the Bank matches from headquarters. Big E backstage with a mic. He hypes tonight's title match main event. Elias is seen backstage walking with his guitar. Cole says he has a special music performance coming up. King Corbin suddenly attacks out of nowhere and levels Elias, knocking him over a table. Corbin beats Elias around the backstage area, talking trash. Corbin destroys Elias and taunts him. Corbin grabs Elias' ladder and wants him to play a song now. Corbin says he has a better idea. He drags Corbin to the ring, it looks like, with the guitar in the other hand. We go to commercial. Back for the break, and Elias is down in the backstage area. With his back against the production case, King Corbin yells at Elias and is furious about Elias poking fun at him during songs. Corbin puts a scepter to him and demands Elias sing, but Elias just screams out in pain as Corbin keeps the attack and trash talking. Corbin then says he's not a joke. He will make an example of Elias and everyone else. Corbin says Elias will bow down. He drops Elias with another scepter shot and walks off, leaving Elias shaking and suffering on the floor. Elias goes to get back up, but Corbin says he might need his guitar. Corbin comes back with the guitar, shot over the back. Corbin yells to someone that Elias can be found in here. We see Elias shaking on the floor as we go back to the announcers. Coleshaw announces 2 Money in the Bank qualifiers for next week. Drew Gulak versus King Corbin and Sasha Banks versus Lacey Evans. Graves announces Carmella and Dana Brooke versus Raw Tag Team Champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for next week. With the titles on the line, we'll also take a look at the history between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman next week. Triple threat for the SmackDown with tag team titles. Big E versus Jey Uso versus The Miz. We go to the ring for tonight's triple threat main event for the SmackDown tag team titles as Big E comes out first. Cole shows us a video package that led to this match. Jey Uso was out next, followed by tag team champion The Miz. Big E takes control early on, sending Miz out. Big E has both men down the ringside now. Big E rants about this being a no DQ as he takes the announce table apart. Miz and Jey with big kicks to Big E. They team up for a big suplex, slamming Big E through the announce table. We go to commercial with Big E laying in the debris, back for the break, and Uso hits the Samoan drop on Miz in the middle of the ring. It hits him out to the floor. Big E gets up on the outside, but Uso nails the suicide dive. Uso runs back in and hits a dive on Miz on the floor on the other side of the ring. Uso brings Miz back in and hits him cursed big cross over body for a 2 count. Uso with nails the Rikishi splashes to both opponents in the corners. Uso charges, but Big E catches him with a Uranage. Miz takes out Big E in the corner. Miz goes for the crushing finale finisher on Big E, but Uso super kicks him. Then super kicks Big E. Uso overpowers Big E for a 2 count. Miz rolls Uso up for a 2 count out of nowhere. Uso and Miz go back and forth. Uso blocks the figure 4, kicking Miz into Big E to send him off the apron to the floor. Miz and Uso tangle. Miz nails the skull crushing finale for a 2 count. Miz goes right into the figure 4 in the middle of the ring. Rope breaks it out of here. Miz tightens the hold and bridges it as Uso tries to fight out. Big E is still down on the floor. He finally runs in and breaks the hold, dropping Miz with a big inning for the pin to win the titles for he and Kofi Kingston. 8-time tag team champions now. After the match, Big E celebrates as the music hits. We see the video from Kofi Kingston, who is at home celebrating and going wild. Big E takes the titles and licks them all over. We see video of the injured Xavier Woods celebrating at home as well. SmackDown goes off the air with Big E rolling around on the ground with the titles. 205 Live is nothing but a little thing about Brian Kendrick. There's a lot going on in the Cruiserweight division, to be sure, such as the interim NXT Cruiserweight Championship Tournament, while in the middle of finding out who is the next person to ascend to the throne. WWE looks back on some of the pioneers of the division, and you can't talk about this division without bringing up the Brian Kendrick. Tonight, Kendrick will share the great wrestling matches that influenced his career, as well as his favorite matches he's had in his career. And with that, Phillips throws it over to the man with the plan himself. Hello, this is the Brian Kendrick, pioneer of 205 Live. He was asked what match made him fall in love with professional wrestling, and that would be the main event, WrestleMania 6. He went over to a friend's house, wanted to play some board games, but his friends were watching Mania on VHS. Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan World Championship match was shown. That was the moment that showed the match replay. Truly historic moment between the two legends, but that was just one moment that influenced the Brian Kendrick. What other moments will Kendrick reveal to be influential? Then the return to Brian Kendrick after the long bout match for 205 Live, an hour show. Kendrick also was asked about what match of his own has he his proudest of? A tricky question because Kendrick has been in the ring with a lot of WWE legends. He has a lot of success and has had a lot of moments he's enjoyed. Kendrick's rather proud of his WWE Tag Team Championship run he had alongside Paul London. He's also proud of his WWE Cruiserweight Championship reign to start 205 Live. But one match that is really special because it puts things in perspective for his career was back in the WWE Cruiserweight Classic when he faced Kota Ibushi. Before that match, Kendrick succeeded against Raul Mendoza and Tony Nese in the tournament. One loss would have meant he was done in his fourth time around in the WWE. And that's what happened. Kendrick looked himself in the mirror and said, "This might be it for me." But obviously, he found his way back, and here he is. But Ibushi gave him the perspective he needed. Showed highlights of the match from August 31st, 2016, Cruiserweight Classic quarterfinals. The Brian Kendrick versus Kota Ibushi. Kendrick said this match would put everything in perspective for him. He stuck it out and eventually became Cruiserweight champion in his own time. As for Kota Ibushi, he would have another incredible match against Grand Metalik. But the King of the Ropes would win and move on to the championship finals. Will Kendrick be able to get back the WWE NXT Cruiserweight Championship down the line? As they go to commercial, come back to Tom Phillips. There's a reason why Brian Kendrick is one of the most respected veterans in all of sports entertainment. And there was a reason why Kendrick was champion for 205 Live's debut. On behalf of the WWE Universe, Phillips thanks Kendrick for sharing just a couple of his favorite moments in wrestling. On behalf of WWE, Phillips thanks us for joining in on reliving those moments and hopes we'll be back again next week for some more of the same action. And that concludes my 205 Live results and everything else results. Thanks again. Peace out. See you one of you. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.